Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man Dejuan Turrentine, aka DT. And so I just think that, through the ups, the downs, the yes, the no's, the rejection, God has been my protection. And, I think for every artist out there, the biggest thing that you need to know is the business.
Vernacular Vision brings you in Broad Day magazine. Brotherhood series. The 5-Star Faces Philosophy section. Greetings. I am Vanessa, a social construct who asks people questions about life and society. Today, my makers and I will interview Dejuan Turrentine, a singer, songwriter, and actor from Los Angeles.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man Dejuan Turrentine, aka DT, and you with me in Broad Day.
What has spiritual philosophy done for you, in terms of self-expression?
So spiritual philosophy for me is it's embodying everywhere that you are. It's really being that light. I always like to say if the light in you is brighter than the light on the outside, then you're doing something right, because it all starts within. Being able to impact people from all different walks of life, understanding who you are in the spiritual realm, I feel like is a gift in itself. So just understanding, your purpose in Christ. Not just reading scripture, but understanding your identity in God, I feel like is essential.
What mentality has your career given you? And how does this mentality help you to conquer adversities in life?
My career has been a stream of ups and downs, but ultimately what I've learned throughout my journey is just the patience aspect, and I feel like that's carried me over thus far. People say a lot of things, but then when you actually get involved and get indebted into the situation, obviously a lot of those things don't come to fruition. So I just think that it's important to understand who you are, and again, understanding in order to conquer your success, you have to be patient with yourself and others, because like I said, putting faith in man will kill you every time.
During the era of COVID-19, what are the biggest hurdles that you've been personally met with?
In a lot of ways, COVID-19 was a huge learning tool. I actually transitioned in COVID-19, kind of forced my transition, because 90% of my income came from me selling my music independently, out the streets, Venice Beach, etc. And it is something I've been doing for years, but that time for me to transition and push myself out of that comfort zone was something that was necessary, and I knew that I was ready to do it. But again, when you're making cash money every day, you're going to get to the grind, you know what I mean? So when COVID hit, man, it transitioned me to get out of that game and learn new ways to create income, but furthermore, put faith in God, you know what I'm saying, and activate my faith in God to really learn my capability. So I just feel like it was a blessing, overall. I don't agree with the things that they're pushing politically as it relates to COVID-19, but if you really took it for what it was, then you learned a lot and you became better of it.
Looking back on your life, when would you say is the most critical point in forming who you are, in terms of standing out and pursuing your dream?
Looking back on my life, I started in this game when I was 8 years old. First job I ever booked was a Young MC video called That's the Way Love Goes, in which I played him as his younger self in the video. And from there, met a lady by the name of Tina, who happened to be Janae Aiko's mother. Her daughter was my love interest in the video. And, Tina was like, hey, Dejuan, can you sing? And this and that, so forth and so on. And so I actually could. Hit a note for her, and she was like, you should audition. My son's in this group, la, 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 la. Nonetheless, went down there, auditioned. Didn't really know how to dance too much, but they loved my voice. So they said, let's bring him in. And from that point on, man, I learned work ethic being in this group. We were called Melodic. A guy by the name of Dave Scott, who went to be a world-renowned choreographer from B2K, worked with everybody. He actually was the manager of the group, along with a lady by the name of Nunu. and we would be in her den 5 days a week. My mom would drive me after she got off of work to LA, from Pasadena to LA, and we would rehearse 5 days a week in this den. Not having anything planned, you know what I'm saying? Not really having anything coming up, but it was the consistency and the discipline and the work ethic that they instilled in us that carried me over throughout my career. I went through a very critical time from 16 to about 24 when I started really streaming into the labels. And, that was a different side of the business, because I was a kid doing little Black Expo shows, not really having no expectation at all, to understanding that music was my passion and something that I wanted to do, and then diving into the business side of it and seeing how ruthless that was, how people would literally, use your gifts and your talents to get through a door and then just backline you. You know what I'm saying? For their own benefits. Just put it this way, I got a lot of A&Rs and people in positions that probably would never be in a chairman's office through my gifts and my talents, and I thank God for it. And I don't, at the end of the day, I know the work that I put in to be a catalyst for myself. And so I just think that, through the ups, the downs, the yes, the no's, the rejection, God has been my protection. And, I think for every artist out there, the biggest thing that you need to know is the business. And it doesn't matter. They don't want you to know the business, because that's how they quantum leap over you. But when you know the business and you understand that 9 times out of 10, if you sign a record deal to this day and you don't have good attorneys backing you, so forth and so on, there's a life insurance policy, a hidden policy in there that you're signing. So when you're sitting on that label and you're not working and you're not doing anything, and you're frustrated and you're mad, and you're saying, God, they're not doing nothing with me, why am I? And you sitting on the shelf is what they call it. They trading you like stock 36 times a day, so they making money off of you regardless.
To anyone at a similar point in their life, what would you say matters most?
So like I said, investing in yourself, I feel like is the greatest gift you could give yourself, and that's not just monetary. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually, physically, you know what I'm saying? Just really being about that life.
We are living through a major turning point in history. Some people are looking forward to the future, while others are more nostalgic, based on their sense of style or character. If you were forced to choose between being the first to comfortably live on Mars, or living your life as any celebrity on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, deceased or living, which would you choose?
I always say, I've been around it all, been around the stars, it worked with a lot of superstars. The life it's a good life when you're peaceful. But if I had the opportunity to be on Mars, or be somebody famous on the Walk of Fame, or I'm gonna choose Mars, because I just feel like I'm learning new things that I've never seen before. I'm creating my own world. Create my own music. I wonder what the type of music the inspiration. I'm gonna make some music up on Mars and send it down to Earth, and I bet it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be celestial, out of this world, right? So, for me, I just think that I'm always an out-of-the-box type of guy. I don't really care about fitting in, and I'm the one person that'll be standing out of the crowd but still having a good time, So, for me, I'm to Mars, baby.
What is one thing you've always wanted to try?
I would have to say, for some of y'all, you already did it. It's skydiving, probably because I'm an air sign. I definitely just want to see what it feels like to be a bird, I wonder how birds feel just up in the air, being able to see below and, see things from a different, like Nipsey said, rest in peace, from a bird's view,
If you could live forever, what is one thing you would love to be able to see?
If I could live forever, the one thing I'd love to see is obviously true freedom for all. I love to see my son and future kids, just to be able to see how that life evolves, and to be able to see your genetic genes prosper. So just really for me, it's to see the future in a better place.
If there were no social media tomorrow, what would people do?
If there was no social media tomorrow, If social media just stopped today, I think people would, in a lot of senses, be at a very discomfort. For some, social media has been a safe haven. It has gotten people from A to B. It has taken people's lives literally from the bottom to the top. For some, it is ruined. For the world, it has exposed a lot. Social media has become a lifestyle. It's not just a media thing anymore. It's a way it's a way people connect. I don't agree with all of the way people utilize social media, but I do believe that if you utilize social media in a wise way, it could be a benefit for you. Again, if it was gone today, though, that's a very interesting. I think people will really just be depressed, you know.
Do you think that technology will eventually override faith? If not, explain why. But if so, how do you think it will happen?
It already has. I think because it puts so much in front of you that distracts you from investing in yourself spiritually. You know, it's now accustomed to, like I said, being damn near like a eye theme park, a ear theme park, all in your hand. You know what I'm saying? You could go on TikTok, be distracted there, Instagram, distracted there, Facebook. You're not thinking about your spiritual walk like that. And again, that's why I say investing in yourself is the best tool that you can utilize.
When you feel like quitting, what pushes you?
You know, when I feel like quitting, what pushes me is my son, and I always reflect on amongst other things, but my son, and I always reflect on, God chose me to be responsible for another life. Like, do you know how powerful that is? He allowed me to be a part of creating another life. For when I'm gone, my legacy can continue. That's what keeps me going, There's nothing more powerful than that. There's nothing more powerful than having the gift of a child.
Module complete.
It's your boy DT, and you was just with me in broad day. Stay blessed, no stress.